Saludos a toda la afición de Lucha Libre Online. Este que les habla es Michael Morales Torres, integrante del equipo de Lucha Libre Online. Y tenemos el enorme privilegio de presentarles a nuestro invitado especial en el día o noche de hoy, dependiendo de donde nos encontramos. Acá es de noche, allá es de día, representando Pro Wrestling Society de Corea del Sur para el mundo. JD Lee llega aquí a Lucha Libre Online, conocido por muchos como el mejor luchador aéreo en la República de Corea. JD, it is an honor for us, man, to have you as our guest. How are you doing today?
I'm really good, and thanks for having me, guys. And it's really an honor to be here and interview with this platform. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, and it is our honor to have you as our guest. We wanted to start this interview asking you, your career is, you have a different pathway compared to the rest of the wrestlers all around the world. You are from a place that pro wrestling, it's not that common compared to the US, compared to Mexico or Puerto Rico. You're from South Korea. So how does a young JD Lee got engaged with the wrestling industry for the first time?
Actually, like other wrestlers and other fans, I've been dreaming for being pro wrestler for many years, and sometimes I felt like I really wanted to be here, and there's no other way that I can live so passionately. So I feel like just do it, and I search for the a pro wrestling company and or some things, and I could find some kind of really small backyard wrestling company. So I went there when I was 14, which is internationally 13
13.
when I was really young. Yeah, and I could be pro wrestling and pro wrestler, and I could train in there. And it was really small kind of gym. Like it was like kind of actually there's no address, and it was the middle of the mountain kind of stuff. It was kind of embarrassed, but I was really happy to that I could be pro wrestler and I could be trained at there.
Perfect. So if you allow me, I'll translate this to Spanish. JD Lee comienza su carrera y su travesía dentro de la industria de la lucha libre. Obviamente, como todas personas, se enamoró de esto cuando era un niño, le gustaba, le llamaba la atención, quería ser un luchador, pero la travesía comienza a los 13 años de edad, en edad de nosotros. En Corea sería a los 14. Recuerden que allá la edad cronológica comienza desde que está en el vientre. Acá, pues es distinto, pues desde los 13 años de edad comienza a enamorarse de la industria. Entonces busca a ver cómo él puede ingresar a la industria por primera vez. Encontró una empresa bastante pequeña en aquel momento dado, que tuvo la oportunidad de entrenar allí por primera vez, de ingresar a un cuadrilátero, de prepararse, tal vez no al nivel que quería, pero sí para poder dar sus primeros pasos y debutar en la industria. So when you were 13, at least in this part of the world, or 14 in South Korea, you started, training to be a professional wrestler, and you had the preparation or enough preparation to make your pro wrestling debut inside the Korean industry, which is not that common as well. You were once again a 13/14-year-old boy making your debut in South Korea, the youngest wrestler to ever do it in your country. How do you felt knowing that that dream you had as a kid was fulfilling and was becoming true?
Actually, it was kind of mind blowing because it's really cool to be pro wrestler. And at the first death match, it was really kind of, I can remember nothing because I was so impressed, and I was so nervous. So like after the match, I was like almost passed out because of the like all the pressures that I had. But it was really kind of magical things that I could have in my life. But these days it was it's not as special because at that time that company was really special to me. But uh, if I think back now, it was just a backyard wrestling, you know. So I'm just focusing on the bigger goals right now, to not to stop at the past. So, but if you ask me, how about the feel about that, it was really a magical thing. And is there any fans who want to be a professional wrestler and just do it? And if you got on the debut, it's really cool. really coolest thing that you can have.
Perfect. Let me translate this to Spanish. Para quienes no sepan, JD Lee, luchador surcoreano de Pro Wrestling Society, es el luchador más joven en debutar en Corea del Sur. Con 13 años de edad ingresa al cuadrilátero. Tal vez en México eso es bastante común o incluso en Puerto Rico, pero en esa área del mundo donde la lucha libre no es tan común, fue un factor bastante importante. A los 13 años este muchacho ingresa, como él dice, pues era algo más casi backyard wrestling, un entrenamiento bastante básico, algo en donde podía brindar la oportunidad de ir poco a poco hasta alcanzar la meta. Y cómo él se sentía, mind blowing, como él dice, o sea, fue un momento sumamente increíble. Estaba tan nervioso que casi se desmayaba posterior a la lucha, pero lo más importante fue eso, que él concreta su sueño y a su vez hace historia como el luchador más joven en debutar en Corea del Sur. After being with this small independent pro wrestling company for a while, how did you got the opportunity to get inside pro wrestling society to train with guys like Shiho Hong or Rei Shi or the rest of the guys that are out there? You know, they are doing something incredible. And so, how did you got to pro wrestling society for the first time?
For the first time, actually, after the backyard wrestling company got left, there was between 1 year's gap, so I was concentrate on my schoolworks, and actually, Shio was the one of the backyard wrestling members of that company, so uh, I got acquainted with him, so he just randomly called me, JJ Lee, do you want to be a wrestler for me? And I was like, why not? And I could be a member of the PWS, and the PWS was different any kind of pro wrestling dojo gym that I've met. It was really clean, and there's a proper ring, and so I could feel like, oh, this is something gonna be up. So um, for now it's the same, but I'm really excited to be there, and um, just looking for a chance that I can get and training hard.
Perfect, let me translate this to Spanish. Él llega a Pro Wrestling Society o a PWS a través de Shiho Hong. Shiho Hong es el propietario y parte de los talentos que hay en la empresa, que estaba entrenando en aquella empresa que era Backyarder, como él dice, donde él debuta inicialmente en aquella empresa pequeñita. Y un día de la nada, randomly lo llama y le dice, oye, JD Lee, ¿te gustaría luchar para mí? Luchar para ti, ¿a qué te refieres? No, voy a abrir un concepto nuevo, Pro Wrestling Society, algo distinto. JD le pareció interesante y dijo como que aquí hay algo, me llama la atención, esto va a explotar en algún momento dado, les va a gustar a la gente. Y dice, sí, vamos para allá, este es el momento, yo quiero darle la oportunidad a algo nuevo. And then you got to Pro Wrestling Society for the first time through Shiho Hong. The training was different, everything was different, but you've been there since the first show, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah. No, actually, I wasn't in the first show for the because I had to do schoolwork first, and then I got in maybe second show, or maybe I got debuted, and other things was the training was actually trained really properly, like different from the backyard wrestling. There's some rule, and there's some standard of cardio, like kind of stuff. So I was really excited that I can reach a more professional wrestling. So, and yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. What were the principal differences that you noticed, you know, from being a backyard wrestler in South Korea to then suddenly you have a proper training?
So first of all, detail of the movement and the proper way to set up on the ring, like bump on how to bump on the right side. And the big difference was kind of it's like dramatic stuff, like how to bring audience to crazy, like how to express my feeling in that match. That kind of stuff is really hard to learn, but because that's why the backyard wrestlers and doing that. I'm not saying backyard wrestler is bad, but there's big difference in major and amateurs. Like I'm still learning, but and for sure, yeah, there is some card standard like 300 or 500 squats and or something, but it's a basics. But big difference is like expressing emotions like.
Yeah, let me translate this to Spanish. Él menciona que obviamente habían diferencias. La primera, no es que esté menospreciando el backyard wrestling, esa fue mi base, así fue que aprendí, uno va poco a poco, pero esto era más elaborado. De momento me enseñan a trabajar para un público, a expresar mis emociones, las expresiones faciales, el carisma, todo este proceso que es la parte de show, de la parte escénica de la lucha libre, la parte del entretenimiento, pues no tenía esa base, simplemente pues se trepaba un cuadrilátero, hacía varias movidas y de momento tiene la oportunidad de crecer y de enganchar a un público. Fue algo completamente distinto a lo que él estaba acostumbrado en aquel momento. Pro Wrestling Society suddenly exploded here in Latin America after we spoke with Shiho and discovered there was a fellow Puerto Rican there, Rey Shi. Un saludo a Rey y un abrazo desde acá de Puerto Rico, batir mano allá de Peñuelas en Sur Corea. Let's go back to English. There was a video Shiho sent me about Rey Shi and yourself. You were doing a different moveset than we are used to in this side of the world. The video went viral. It has almost 1 million views in YouTube, in Facebook itself. In YouTube, it has over 250,000 reproductions or views. Instagram has a couple 100,000 as well. Like, this video is all around the world. How do you feel knowing that people from literally countries like Argentina, Chile, Peru, Ecuador, Panama, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Mexico, all Latin America, Spain were asking, who the heck is this small guy and how the hell he's so talented?
Noticed that my video gonna upload it like that, and people gonna love that. It was at the first time I was like I got jammed, like, oh, what is that? Is it right number that I see it? And it was, and then I was really thankful for the uploading this video on that platform. I was really honored to that, and because, and especially like this platform is on like Puerto Rico and like Spanish based Mexico, other countries, and because I really feel great to be there, because especially personally, I love Lucha. I'm really into Lucha, and I'm one of the Lucha fan, like Toxin and other guys, commanders and other great guys. Actually, the one of the reason that I can be blown up in Korea is that Lucha based, and also I'm based in karate, also taekwondo, so it's familiar with the and lucha and martial arts mixture style of wrestling. So I'm really into that, and it was the first show that I adjusting the kind of style with Ray XI. So actually, yeah, that's why people love that. Yeah, and really, I feel really honored to fans that love that, and really honored to upload this video on the platform.
Perfect, man. Let me translate this. Hay un detalle importante. Hay un video de JD Lee luchando con Rey Shi que se fue viral. El puertorriqueño, un surcoreano pequeño, de momento hacen unas movidas que la gente se queda como que, pero qué demonios es esto, porque no lo habíamos visto todavía en esta parte del mundo. Este video de momento él dice como que, mira, yo vi ese video, obviamente como agradecimiento y todo, pero yo vi ese video y esos son los números, correcto. Como que de momento saber que él le encanta la lucha libre, su estilo es basado más en lo que es la lucha libre tal vez mexicana, puertorriqueña, española, o sea, todo lo que es habla española, o sea, Spanish speaking, como él menciona. Y le llama la atención, se siente como que bien contento de saber que el público en todas partes del mundo, pero especialmente acá en Latinoamérica, le está gustando su trabajo. Let's go back to Pro Wrestling Society. What you guys are doing there is impressive, man. The vision you have is that you don't have a boss. Like, you are a society of wrestlers living together, working together, all of you cooperating in the way you know, to work with the ring, to clean the arenas, to put the crowd there, to put the ring back in the truck. Like, every single thing you do it as an entity, and that's simply impressive. How lucky do you feel, or how happy do you feel to be a part of Pro Wrestling Society and its vision today?
It's really cool to being one of the member in PWS, and it's really cool. It's a really cool thing I can joke around with the CEO and wrestle with CEO, like, because other guys was like kind of too boss. It was like too boss. So we can joke around with guys, but in pro wrestling society, like, this is society, so we are so equal. So um, it's kind of sad, especially I have a young age, so some guys, I feel some guys disrespect me because of I'm young. But in this company, everybody respect each other, even though they are young or old, and they are have a more power or not, they are famous or not. The kind of stuff is really impressed for me, and it's gonna be really powerful strength for next step, I think.
Perfect. Él menciona que le gusta esa visión de que todo es una sociedad, todo es una entidad, todos con la misma dirección, todos remando en la misma posición. Para un muchacho joven como él, no tener tal vez este drama backstage que tienen en otros lugares, esta jerarquía en la industria, sino que todos están en la misma posición, todos trabajan para un mismo o para una misma meta, que es brindarle un show de lucha libre en común a las personas, que no hay problemas de ego, que no hay nada de lo que vemos tal vez en esta parte del mundo. Es como una utopía de la industria de la lucha libre, en donde, pues mira, todo el mundo tiene la oportunidad de trabajar, todo el mundo tiene la oportunidad de exponer su talento, todo el mundo hace de todo, o sea, del más alto en la cartelera hasta el más bajito, todos montan el ring, todos desmontan el ring, todos ayudan a limpiar la arena, todos trabajan con el público, todos a veces les toca picar boletos, o sea, es una entidad, es casi una cooperativa o un sistema de cooperativismo lo que estamos viendo en esta industria, que me parece bastante interesante el modelo político / económico que están trabajando y les está funcionando perfectamente. Man, pro wrestling in South Korea is not, as been said before this interview, is not something that common. However, what you're doing over there, it has a little bit of everything. We've seen Japanese strong style, lucha libre from Mexico, Korean pro wrestling itself, and a little bit of American pro wrestling with the psychology and entertainment part. How do you manage to adapt your style into all these 4 different styles and combine it to make what JD Lee is today?
First of all, I was Lucha player when I was debuted, and in the basis and Lucha, and I got adjusted with American and Japanese psychologists, because I think psychology is kind of different from Mexico and Korea and Japan Asian culture, and since we are actually there has been no pressing for a while, so we are nothing. So what we make is just Korean pressing. So I tried everything, like a little bit of this match at this, and like this, and actually Korean pressing and Jade Lee is kind of mixture of the Lucha Libre and Japanese style wrestling and American style wrestling, and I think as a professional wrestler, I need to be able to do everything for right now, and I'm looking forward to do that.
Perfect. JD Lee nos menciona que su base es lucha libre, por lo menos donde él empezó, pero eventualmente tuvo que adaptarse al modelo de psicología y entretenimiento estadounidense, mezclarlo con el modelo de psicología japonés, porque es mucho lo que trabajan en su país, y adaptarlo a esta mezcolanza al estilo de lucha libre surcoreano. Él le gusta brindarle un poco de lucha a la gente, le gusta brindarle un poco de estilo americano, un poco del estilo japonés, un poco del estilo surcoreano, y tratar de que esta mezcolanza pues le funcione para tratar de brindarle algo distinto a la gente. Before we go to our last question, I want to thank you so much for your time, man. It's been a blast to have you as our guest. Last but not least, what message can you send to the fans all around the world, especially Latin America, so they can watch more of JD Lee, Pro Wrestling Society, and South Korean pro wrestling itself?
Sorry, like, so I can't understand it.
Okay, what message can you send to the fans out there in Latin America so they can watch Korean Pro Wrestling Society, and they can watch more of JD Lee?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Don't worry.
Okay, this is JD Lee from South Korea, and there's a lot of exciting stuff in South Korea pro wrestling too. So like Taekwondo and other BTS, there other K cultures. I hope the K wrestling gonna be popped up, and there's gonna be a mixture of the martial arts and American style wrestling and Mexico lucha libre style. So we are gonna be mixture of all of that. So it can be a pro wrestling style of Korea itself. So it's gonna be really nice to see it. And if you guys interested, please check it PWS. And also, if you guys want to, you can check Jada Lee on the Instagram or on YouTube. And shout out to Lucha Libre Online. Thank you.
Thank you, man. To all our fans, let me say this in Spanish. Tienen que seguir a Pro Wrestling Society en todas sus redes sociales. El trabajo que están haciendo está excelente. Society Wrestling o Pro Wrestling Society los pueden buscar a través de Instagram, los pueden buscar en Twitter, los pueden buscar a través de YouTube, en Facebook también aparecen, al igual que JD lo pueden buscar en su cuenta de Instagram, va a aparecerles aquí abajo, al igual que lo pueden buscar en su cuenta de YouTube. Échenle un ojo al trabajo de este muchacho. A la lucha libre surcoreana está despegando poco a poco, al igual que despegó el K-pop, está despegando el K-wrestling y tarde o temprano va a llegar a ese nivel que todo el mundo está esperando. Man, once again, thank you very much for your time. Wishing you success in your career and in your personal life. And man, thank you. It's been a blast to have you as our guest.
Thank you for having me, and it was really good time that I can have as a wrestler. And yeah, it was really funny. And thank you for understand my poor English, but yeah,
your English is good, bro. Your English is perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. Let's wrap it up in Spanish. Este fue JD Lee, el mejor luchador aéreo de Corea del Sur, y Michael Morales Torres para Lucha Libre Online, la marca número 1 de Pro Wrestling y Combat Sports en español.